Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back with another edition of This Time It's Personal. This is a series in which I get to talk about things that aren't necessarily related to my guitar playing. It's an opportunity for me to talk about things outside of work, to give you a chance to get to know me, Levi Clay, a little bit more personally. So this question, again, is from one of my patrons over on patreon.com. And the question, it's kind of about guitar, but my answer is a lot more personal. So the question is, can you talk to us about the difficulties of practicing guitar when you work with guitar for a living? And that is such a depressing question. I'm happy to talk about it though. So practicing guitar when I play guitar for a living, I have a guitar in my hands for a living. I'm not really playing for people, but you know, playing guitar is a big part of my job. Practicing guitar is very, very difficult. And I'm constantly trying to make this point to my Skype students and the students that I see personally. They have jobs. They all have jobs, and that gets in the way of their practice. And I'm not going to be one of those teachers that shouts and belittles you like, why haven't you done your practice? You need to find time to practice. I understand what it's like to have a job and to have to fit your practice in around that job. And even for me, someone that works in music, my full-time job revolves around music. So yeah, you would think that I would get so much practice done. But the reality of the situation is it's very, very difficult to find time to practice. Very difficult to find time to practice. Not difficult to find time to noodle, but to really practice, to really study. That's real hard, and I've actually made a little bit more of a conscious effort to do that moving forward because I introduced Study Club as part of my Patreon campaign. The $20 guys get access to a monthly live stream. It's like a 2-hour long stream where I'll take a book and I will work through the material in the book, and I'll talk about integrating it into my practice routine and, you know, my thoughts on the content and bits I like and bits I don't like. Stuff like that is a great motivator to help me keep practicing and to motivate the guys that are watching, of course, to go and do some damn practice. But to be completely honest with you, when I am not working, the last thing on your mind is practicing guitar or composing or anything like that. Sometimes you have to force yourself to do it. A great quote from Scott Henderson is, the hardest part of composition is the application of ass to seat. Now you listen to that and you think, well, cool, so just sit down and do it. But motivation is hard. It's real hard to do. So I do practice a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I'd like to. In reality, what I find I like to do when I'm not working and using my guitar in order to work is relaxing. You know, spending time with my wife. We like to go places and do things, of course, as does everybody, to be fair. I spend a lot of time playing video games. Not a lot of time, but, you know, that's one of the ways that I will unwind. I'm a real passionate PS4 player, PlayStation player. I really, really passionately collect trophies in video games. So I'm currently playing Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a great game. I know everyone's playing, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, and I've got that ready to play, and, you know, Assassin's Creed Origins, and, sorry, not Origins, Odyssey. I've got a ton of games to play at all times, but I'm really, really into retro indie style games. So Hollow Knight, you know, absolutely fantastic. The amount of hours that I put into games like The Binding of Isaac, I mean, I've got The Binding of Isaac tattooed around my entire arm. Like, I'm really into that style of game. So I spend a lot of time doing that. I've also recently developed hobbies, other hobbies or passions or interests. I'm spending a lot of time building Lego because I'm a giant child. I'm working on that, the Millennium Falcon, the giant Ultimate Collector's Edition version of the Millennium Falcon. I've got like 6 hours in that at the moment. That's a lot of fun, and I want to stop making this video right now and just go and make Lego because that's a load of fun. I also just recently got into painting miniatures for board games. I'm not doing Warhammer, don't worry. If I ever need to regrow my virginity, I will go to Warhammer. I tease, of course. I am painting the miniatures for the Doom board game because, yeah, it's all stuff that ties into video games, right? So Doom and Fallout and the Dark Souls board game, and I've got the Labyrinth to paint, and what else have we got coming? I'm really looking forward to picking up the Resident Evil 2 board game. So, you know, these are all things that actually, because I've been doing these now for a good few weeks, even months on some of these, well, I've been playing video games for years, but I find that when I'm done working, I need to go and unwind. I need to go and play a video game or paint a miniature or build some Lego or whatever it is, go out for a meal. And after that, when I've had the opportunity to unwind, that motivation to practice grows. The motivation to improve as a guitar player grows. And that's the best way to do that. So I need to work and then take time away from the work in order to work on the things that I want to practice and, you know, develop. And generally speaking, you know, I'm lucky because a lot of the work that I do involves transcribing things, and transcription, or developing the ear, if you like, is one of the best ways for me to learn. So sometimes I'm very lucky and I get to transcribe a ton of things that are really, really of interest to me, and I feel that just transcribing them that is a form of practice. I'm learning vocabulary, it's starting to stick in my ear, in my mind, and I get better at using it when I'm improvising. But sometimes I'm transcribing things that I absolutely hate. It just happens, you know, it's the nature of the beast. But in reality, I'm so damn bit. Like, I'm looking at my emails now and I've got 67 emails that I need to deal with. You know, these are all jobs or job requests. It's getting to the point where I can't keep up with that, which is, a shame, because really I'd just like to throw it all away and practice. That would be great. I would love it if I could just go up to a mountain lodge cabin type thing and take my nylon string and just play Jerry Reed style nylon string guitar. Or I could spend a lifetime doing that. Or I would love nothing more than to go to the same cabin and take my Cigano gypsy jazz guitar, just that, and to work on my gypsy jazz playing, because I love that sound. I love gypsy jazz, and if I could be a gypsy jazz player, you know, I would love that. But the reality is there's only so much time, there's a lot of work to do, and sometimes you need to do things that aren't work, and sometimes you need to do things that aren't guitar. So there you go. It's a little bit more about me, my passions, my hobbies, my interests, and how I manage to fit practicing into my routine, or how I don't manage to fit practicing into my routine. It's why I'm not getting any better, really, isn't it? That's the reality of the situation. Anyway, so huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for the question. It was a lot of fun, actually, to get to talk to you about some of the things that I'm interested in outside of playing guitar. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It is of great help to me and my work life. I'm able, because of the Patreon, I'm able to spend more time making videos, and I'm able to not have as much time having to be devoted to transcribing stuff, which is a really huge help. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to even have the hobbies, to be completely honest with you. So anyway, thank you for that, guys. If you would like to check us out on Patreon and support this channel, you can do so by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos here and here. Yeah, thanks so much for the support. Even if you're not a Patreon supporter, just watching these videos, subscribing, commenting, sharing them with your friends, it's all a great help, and it motivates me. It makes me want to keep making videos for you guys. So keep doing it, and I will keep making videos. Laters.